This calls for a song.
You won't need it to stay warm. You're so afraid of my affections. You could drown in your own storm. There's no need for reservation. No one else can see. After some examination, man, I think that you've got what I need. It's really alright. It's really alright. It's really alright if you don't love me. What's that look of consternation? I'm completely in control. So if you're thinking of evasion, there's something you should know. Well, I wouldn't say I own you, but you're a lover without liberty. Which would you rather face, that cold-hearted landscape or me? What's that look of consternation? I'm completely in control. So if you're thinking of evasion, there's something you should know. Well, I wouldn't say I own you, but you're a lover without liberty. Which would you rather face, that cold-hearted landscape or me?
Hot. It's hot. I cannot take a big bite. This is a commercially made spanakopita spinach pie. It's making me want to go and invest all the time and money and ingredients and make it from scratch myself. It could be hotter. Maybe. Oh, that was getting ready to pop right there. I hate when one of them is different from the other in that temperature. It shouldn't be that different after all. It's an air fryer. But just in case, I will put this piece back in the air fryer where it's hot. Let it sit there for a minute. Think about it. Here. Get hotter, stay hotter. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see the problem. I let myself get too hungry. So I was taken off guard when I went to have my test done today because they did a lot more than I was expecting in terms of test. But for good reason. They're looking for blood clots. They didn't find any, I don't believe. So I'm hoping to get the "you're off blood thinners" call as soon as possible. All better. I expect to be 100%. Don't you? Lesson number 1. You get what you expect. Be aware of what you're really expecting. This is where positive conditioning comes in handy. Now, I did not read a few of these out loud. I wasn't here all of these days. But today is the 7th. Continue to thrive. The world isn't always fair. Time has a keen way of showing us that. But please don't let that simple truth dull your sparkle. You were created to thrive in the face of inequity. That is the only answer to unfairness. Thrive. Just thrive. Don't make things harder than they are. That was yesterday, but that's a good one. We make things a lot harder than they need to be because of the way we're raised in most cases. Raised with the idea that you need to sacrifice. You need to work your fingers to the bone to be a success. Of course, we're seeing the opposite of that. We're seeing people learning how to make easier ways of making a living these days. You guys ready this time? You look more sincere. When I go too long without eating, I get hangry or irritated. Okay, so, oops, let's not spill that all over the place. What do we have? We have lunch. I was at the hospital longer than anticipated, had more done than I expected. All for the better. I'm not objecting. I was shocked though. I was not prepared. Neither was my taxi driver when he came to get me before I was ready. I had called back and going, "They just have to take the IV out. I'll be down in 2 minutes." That must have sounded like an insane woman. But I guess the word IV sent him to the emergency room instead of the front door. So I had to call again, like, "I'm here." He said, "Are you at the ER?" No, I'm at the front of the hospital. So it's been one of those days. The good thing is that this is coming out along the lines that I've planned, and I'm feeling good about it. I want the heat to be dripping, so dripping with gold. Not a metaphor necessarily for a wealthy city, but even then it would have to be dripping in sunshine gold first. And this is about the sun and the heat. Need the smaller brushes for appliquing, and then the bigger brush for brushing off. Now a little bit more of this gold is going to be flaked off, but not right this minute, because I want to eat or I will get bitchy. And I hate being bitchy in public. Okay. So hello, one person. Let me entertain you. Let me make you smile. It's the only words I know for that. If you really want more, I can't go do a copyright infringement anyway. I'm sure it can be found, though. I think it's let me entertain you. I think. Hello. Second person. I thought if I stop to cook before I come on, I will not be back. I will be involved with making a nice meal for myself. This way, I took a shortcut. I'm finishing the spanakopita, because once you open that package, you got to do it, you know. And then, after a little bit of art and you guys, I will probably have some soup. I've been eyeballing some pea soup for a while. So, nothing with the gold leaf is going to happen so long as I've got food here, because I don't want to eat that stuff. It's not good for you. And I would hope to hell that people are not using that in food. If I found out they were putting this cheap fake stuff that oxidizes in my food, I'd be pissed. Genuinely, really pissed. Here we are trying to get rid of oxidants, so we take and eat antioxidants. So we would not want something that is sitting there basically rusting in us. I do love this stuff, and I am a slow eater. I know. So right now, it's a good channel if you'd like to watch people eat slowly. That's not normally what this is about. But I knew if I start my stream, it will give my friends time to get the notice and sign in. I hope they get the notice. If they don't, we have to do something. And there you are, you were logging in. Those are the only words I know. Aloha. Always a big smile. Those look weird. They look like they've been squashed. That's yours stuck there too, right? I know we've heard it go past that. Da 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 da. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm thinking of Gene Kelly. That's Entertainment. That's the other song. Okay. Flatheads, is that what they're called? Figures. There we go. I can't do that. I have a mouthful of spinach. Don't worry. It's very dry. I will not be making it part of this. Hold the pinky out. Welcome to global warming. We're not the only country getting bad weather. It does seem that the red states are being hit harder than the blue. I wonder if God is mad at somebody. She's not happy. What do you think about it? How is the weather where you are right now? Because that's the only weather that really matters, is what's going on where you are right now. I just realized something with a little astonishment. just found myself saying, wait a minute, which state is Lindsey Graham from? And I realized he's been meddling in the politics of so many states, I can't remember which one he actually represents. Seriously, I cannot remember. This gentleman from where? I don't know. Is he from Georgia? Well, if God is punishing sinners, apparently they're all evangelicals. Are you concerned with the TV evangelical? I mean, isn't that the same as Fox News? All that matters, Maui, is your universe. And you are the center of your universe. You have fair weather. Has the weather been so windy it has prevented you from doing something you want to do? I would imagine it can get pretty damn windy. We have some pretty... Yeah, we got a lot of wind going on today. It's a little calmer now. We had actually red flag alerts for wind and sailcraft. You probably know about those. It is not a hamburger. It has been a while since I've had a hamburger. Well, apparently the universe is speaking through me now to you, telling you. You have just received validation. How does that feel? You are eventually going to be laughing at yourself for not recognizing yourself and for holding yourself back. And as if you have to hold yourself back for anything. But conditioning as a human is deep. Takes a lot of work. This is what you created. This is what you are. After a lifetime of being this you, you have to change this you to change things like that. You think that's the first thing people notice about you? You got to get out of the habit of pointing out what you don't want. If I'm the center needs more hair on his head, which is funny, but it works in the opposite of what you want. You're just recreating the you with no hair on the top of your head. That's not the you really want, but that's the one you keep seeing in your head. Can't you be okay with you as you are? How come they don't notice your eyes or your smile? You have a great smile. That's not the first thing I've ever noticed on you. So I'm sure people notice because they're looking right at you. It's not like they're going to be blind to you unless they're literally blind. Then they'll figure it out when they touch you. Point is, no matter what we don't like, if we keep pointing it out, even in fun, we're pointing it out, that just reverberates as a desire, something you want rather than you don't want. And you've got to remember the universe doesn't hear the word no. So you have to basically see yourself as someone who is regrowing their hair. And how much you can do depends on what else you got. You know, did you inherit something? Male pattern baldness from your father? Well, there you go. Maui, men may dissect women, they think, and women do notice things like a good butt and good arms, good legs. There are things definitely we are attracted to. But what we notice first and foremost with anyone, male or female, is how they stand. Unless they're in a wheelchair. I don't know. Well, if your father was bald, your programming started genetically and young. So the odds of you just being able to turn your insides on and your brain out enough so that you believe that you can just start growing hair again, because why not? Because it's your energy, do whatever you want with it. You don't believe it enough, so it ain't going to happen. So don't waste your energy. Focus on what we all look at, the whole person. We want to see how they present themselves. People who stand erect and have a smile on their face and express in their body language some confidence are always going to attract the eye and people. Anyone who is confident enough in themselves to feel like they're worthy of you will make themselves known. And the people who don't feel worthy of you will not go near you. So you'll avoid a lot of crazy people just by the way you appear. So you have to think about, what are you projecting and what can you project intentionally versus what you have been projecting on default. Well, that's a good sign. Do you look like your father? Because Glenn kept his hair, his brother lost his hair, but their father kept his hair. The guy was 90 years old and still had thick hair. It was going white, but he had a lot of it. Well, maybe you can model yourself on your brothers. Unless you don't get along with them. In which case, that won't work either. You'll find a reason to reject it. You think you look like your dad. Well, how about your brothers? Do they look like him? Or do they favor more your mother's side? Because that could be the genetic aspect there. Men have a much harder time with this than women. But women lose their hair too. And it becomes really scary for women because we're brought up being taught that our hair is our crowning glory. And you have to have a lot of hair. Hey, you got one out of the family. That's cool. You're lucky. Families are basically created to get us the hell out and on our feet and away from the nest. They're not usually meant to nurture us to the point where we stay there forever. We do see a lot of that. People living in their parents' basements forever. And I can see where that would be really a drag for the parents. Do they? I found the Irish, English, and Scottish also. The people with the super white complexions. A lot of women just get super thin, and you can see their pink skin through their white hair. It's hard. I have never liked that look. When my hair started getting thin, I started getting nervous. And for me, the cure, as it were, the cure was just to get my hair cut in layers so that it gets floofy. If it's floofy, it looks like more. All right, we gotta put this out of my way. Okay, Smiley. All right. Sorry. I have to see it back a little. Sounds like a dog, doesn't it? It's not a dog. So, what is your current project, Maui? Oh, wow. I'm sorry. How long has it been since you heard anything about her or from her? I guess she wanted to make sure you knew, huh? Exercising your weak areas. Well, it turns out I'm going to have to start doing weight training to strengthen my veins. My only weights are 2 pounds. How is it going? You were working on your lower back, I thought. What's the no good? You're not keeping up with it? I'm waiting for the all clear so I can get off these medicines, except for blood pressure. Let's see, definitely blazing here. Let's see if we can find some. Well, it depends on the kind of pain you have, my dear. Some pain is telling you, don't frickin' do that. Other pain is, you know, from working out. It's not supposed to be painful. Painful is the after effect 3 days after a workout. That's when you are all stiff and sore as hell and you know exactly which muscles you worked. You know all this. You were in the fucking army. By the time you feel pain, you should already like have gone quite a bit. If you're feeling pain right off the bat. Like, I have scoliosis. I cannot do things on my left side of my body that I can do in my right, and vice versa. So there's no way I can exercise both sides of me evenly because I'm not even. I have to compensate. I have to do stretches differently to make muscles stretch. There are some muscles on this side I cannot get a good stretch because I can't. My body doesn't go that way, and that stinks. But you have to know that about your own body. There are some things you're not going to be able to do, but you have to find a way around it so you can still work that muscle or at least stretch it. You can have YouTube videos. I mean, there's lots of YouTube videos. The old ladies here do chair yoga. No, not chair yoga. It's what is this called? Chair yoga. It's not really yoga. It's just chair exercise. It's just you're sitting in your chair. You stand up for a couple of things, but most of it is done from the sitting position so that you don't mess up your back. So you might want to try that if it's your back. You can get stronger doing things while still sitting down. The people here love it every Monday. And now they have started a Zumba dance exercise class. Even the people who are in wheelchairs are trying to move parts of their body. Ha! I fall asleep with that sucker on all the time. If it makes the pain go away, I just pass out. But it has a timer. I have a 15-minute and 30 minutes on it. So it turns itself off. Now, I was hoping that walking would be enough. Walking's not going to be enough. Walking is good for the heart. It's not really going to do anything to improve my vein situation. And after today, it's like, oh my God. Oh, that's too bad. Then you need to set a timer separately so you don't overgo. I mean, 15 minutes is all you should be on those things. Then you have to move it. Otherwise, you get immune to it. It doesn't do any good. That's good. Now, once is enough, I would think. What I used to most enjoy for my spasms and nerve pain was ice packs. That I would fall asleep on. So because that's also dangerous, you're not supposed to be on ice for more than 15 minutes because you can start damaging the tissue, like frostbite. I started doing it by freezing a washcloth in a Ziploc bag. As you know, a folded washcloth. You just get it wet, put it in a sandwich-sized bag, and freeze it flat. And then I'd put them under my lower back or my butt, whatever was hurting more at the time. And at first it's like, whoa. And then it's like, oh yeah. And it just kills the pain. And then you fall asleep because it kills the pain. Ice is your friend. I say that and a lot of people go, ooh, ice, ooh. But once you get that nerve pain relief, you never say that again. It's like, oh yeah, thank you. They have those reusable ice packs. They're different thicknesses and they last different lengths of time. I found washcloths. Everybody's got an extra couple of washcloths in a little plastic bag, you know. It shouldn't be dripping wet. It's not like a block of ice. In fact, because it's a towel, you can, you know, bend it to fit your... Yeah, ice, 15 minutes. That's it. 15 minutes every 45 minutes. Or 15 minutes out of an hour. You can cause damage if you are on it longer than that. How long have you been on it? The same applies to heat. That's why I say don't fall asleep sitting on top or laying on top of a heating pad because you can cook your tissue. You can make things harden up in a bad way. "15 minutes on ice is all it takes. It will wipe out that nerve pain in less than that. As soon as the tissue gets cold, the nerve starts going to sleep. That's why when people have migraines, frequently one of those like frozen ice towels in the back of their neck or on the back of their neck and the top of their forehead will take out the headache. You should not be, it's not take hours on ice. Ice can cause damage if it's longer than 15 minutes. So set a timer when you're going to be on ice. Usually a person your size, you're laying on ice, that ice is going to be melted in 15 minutes. It becomes kind of like a moot point. But when it's that bad and it's fixed there, you're also mentally and emotionally fixed there. And the more you hating on that spot, the more real it gets. I know this because if you look at my MRI, you don't know why I'm walking or why I'm not paralyzed from the waist down. If you look at my x-rays and my MRIs, it's like, wow, holy shit. Shouldn't they operate on that or something? So damage does not necessarily lead to pain, and you can have pain where there is no visible damage. That's one of the weird things about the lower back especially. So a lot of what goes on in the lower back is being interpreted emotionally, and we get stuck there. But it's not just about the back. Pain in the lower back represents anger and frustration, and it's not being a friend to yourself. So when we have lower back pain, if you want to get to the root of it, it's going to be more than going to a medical doctor. It's about you personally. Where are you angry? Where are you resenting your world and your life? And where are you blaming other people for your miseries? As you start to eliminate these things, as you start to face the different things that are behind the pain, you start to have less pain. Just like happiness, the happier you are, the less pain you experience. And this is true. Everybody knows that. You experience a lightness of being when you get happy. The happier you are, the greater the lightness of being. And the greater the lightness, the less physical pain. I mean, everybody can attest to that. So we know that pain is not always what it seems to be. Louise Hay was so convinced that us getting stuck on the word pain and the concept of pain was one of the biggest problems in us being able to deal with it. So she decided that she would not use the word pain to describe her discomfort anymore. She would use something else like sensation, because that's what it is. It's a sensation. And if you get into the label of it, you can make it feel more permanent and make it worse. Attention will always make it more intense. So I try not to think about my back. I do what I can for it. Like right now I'm wearing a couple of patches. I have not taken a pill yet this afternoon. Took one in this morning, but I did not take an afternoon one. I have permission to. I'm not making myself suffer, but right now I'm in a good place emotionally. I'm creating something. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, you're having spasms. You've got too much tension in your back and your shoulders, and that's going to cut off your hands. So if you need to express yourself through your hands, you've got to ask yourself why you're cutting yourself off from creation. I realize I don't want you to feel like I'm picking on you, because I'm not. I have been through this for myself. I have everything I say to you, I have questioned in my own world. I don't assume anything. And we can have many roots to our problems, but we do have things that are similar, and just because we're human, we share them. The happier we are, the less pain we have. The more we complain about our pain, the more we focus on the stuff that we don't have, the more the pain gets. Pain just keeps growing. And the more you bitch about it, the more it grows. And this is a truth. It's just a truism with humans. There's no way you can sit and think about your pain without it getting worse, because now you're putting your attention exactly where you don't want it to be. So your only escape is drugs or a medical intervention of some kind, because The more you are focused there, the worse it's going to get. And no matter what you throw at it, the pain is going to rise to the occasion, and always keep beating it out, because that's where your brain is. That's where your discomfort is emotionally. What are you, we have to question ourselves about it. If you understand the premise that you are reacting, your pain is a visible sign of your fears and your worst emotions, the ones that bring you down the most, bring you down from the waist down. Those are the hardest ones to deal with, because they're the most earthbound. They will come from the past, but the thing is, if you want to advance, you want to rise above your pain, you are going to have to rise above the waist. Energetically, you have to start putting your attention on the higher things, not keep going back to everything below the belt. Below the belt, you do not have creativity other than the ability to father children, or mother children. Waist down is about procreation. It's about our tribes, the people we come from. And at this point in our lives, it's always about the past. It's nothing about the present, where your power is. It's always yesterday. So that is where so much of our pain is rooted. And this goes for everyone. So we have to look at ourselves. We've got to look at our particular circumstances and why we keep getting tied into all of these things that don't serve us. Now, I will tell you right now, Doc, I have something called a thoracic valve syndrome. And it comes from being hunched up. And because of being hunched up, like when I get tense, it makes it worse. The shoulders rise. A head is like a bowling ball. It weighs too much to be balanced on that one little vertebrae of your fulcrum in your neck. But that's what we do. And when we are not watching our posture, we're cutting off our circulation. And I went through the test and I found out, okay, when my finger goes white with a numb, and a tingling happens, it means I have a thoracic valve shutting off. All right? I'm shutting off my blood and nerve supply. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, as soon as you start making your boundaries and defending them, but you can't just move away from your problems, because you take them with you, or you would never manifest them in the first place. So whatever enabled you to manifest what you didn't want, it's still with you. You still haven't resolved all of it. You still are concerned and fearful about women who may be bringing drama into your life. So you're using that as like, okay, I don't have to get involved with life. I'm backing off. Take a vacation because you've been through some shit, but then you got to get back into it. And you can't be expecting all women, or any woman. If you're expecting it, you will see it. That's the rule of law. What you expect, what you're anticipating, what you're predicting for your own future is exactly what you are in the point of attracting right now, and it will be until you make some corrections. Catch it before it happens so you can not manifest it. Just like I had to learn the hard way. It's like, oh my God, what am I doing on my birthdays? I'm sick. Every birthday, something happens, and it's usually bad. It's nothing little. It's always like, fuck, I'm in the hospital again. I'm not doing that anymore. Next birthday is going to be freaking awesome. The whole month is going to be awesome. And I'm not going to walk into the new year fearful of, oh my God, I lost my father in here, and then I this, that, but that, and that. We have to distance ourselves from our own stories, not our people that are around us or the people that caused us drama, because we attracted them at that time, because that's what we needed at the time. Those were the lessons we had to learn. We needed things brought to our attention. Just because shit happens doesn't mean you did anything wrong. You did the best you were supposed to do, and all you could do in that moment. But you have a new moment every moment. And every day you wake up, you've got a brand new day. And you've broken whatever momentum you were carrying from the day before. Sleep will do that. You just have to go to sleep. It breaks the cycle. You start over. So distancing is not about distancing the people. It's distancing yourself inside, going, I don't need this anymore. I see what it is. I see what it is in me that keeps attracting it. So remember, you're attracting whatever you're afraid of, because that's where your energy is going, into fear. You will manifest anything you want. And if it happens to be focused on fear, that's what you will manifest, things to fear. And with that comes all the accompanying signals in your body saying, what the hell are you doing? You don't really want that, do you? Don't you want to focus on things that are awesome? Don't you want to focus on the things that make you light and happy? Make you salivate with desire? Don't you want that instead of being worried about what's going to happen? Afraid of what you're going to bring in? Fortunately, the stuff that we fear does not manifest as fast as the stuff we're happy about. So there you go. It taught you to set a boundary, right? And there you go. We do this to ourselves all the time. That's why it's important to understand your center. You are the center of your universe. Nobody did this to you. You are doing it to you. You're only allowing so much energy to come into your life. And then you're deciding which kind of energy you're allowing into your life. So there's no mistakes. We never run out of desires. We never run out of time. You run out of body eventually, but you get another one. So it's a constant here. We just constantly keep going over and over. Yeah, exactly. You have to remember that promises to yourself are the most sacred. What's good? What's the good of having a code of honor or being as good as your word if you can't even keep it to you? You have to at least make sure you keep it to yourself. It's your universe. You make the laws by how you behave, by what you are thinking about. So the thing is, don't beat yourself up because you did that. It was part of the whole thing. Go on. Don't get caught up on the old paths, on the old roads, on the old. It's old. It's gone. Once you recognize where you tripped yourself up, then just say, oh, all right, and just keep going forward. Do not waste time going into analysis over it. Not everything requires deep analysis. Most shit, you can really just keep going. And it's just not important to keep going back and rehashing something. It's just not. Where do you feel good? Do you feel good rehashing? If you do feel good rehashing something, then maybe that's where you need to be at the moment. But if it doesn't feel good, if it makes you feel bad about yourself, then it's definitely the wrong direction. You've got to come up with something better. Instead of breaking a promise, what's a new promise to make yourself that you're going to try harder to do something? Right now, you need to watch your posture. And I recommend, to help you with your loosening up your shoulders and all that you lay flat on your back, and if you can, put your ass up against a wall and your legs straight up. As much as you can. You may need to bend your knees for a bit, but you want to try and get some of that weight off you, and it makes a kind of a traction there. It'll help your lower back, but it'll help open up your back, your shoulders, stretch your arms out. Yeah, she's not about you. And that's what you got to understand. She wasn't doing you any favors. You were doing her the favors. You got nothing out of it except pain. Well, there's your lesson. How many times do you have to do that before you don't pick up the phone when she calls, or you say, I'm sorry, I'm not available? Goodbye. If you can't do that for yourself, then why would anybody else protect you? You're not protecting yourself. And it's your universe. If this is what you want to go through, you're entitled. You can. You can fuck it things up. You can make your back hurt worse. You can go and find more Jennies and find yourself angry and frustrated and hurt again and ignored or uncared for. And is that the scenario? That's a broken record. You have to write a new story. What do you want to see? How do you want to be treated? Don't you want someone to find you attractive as you are? Someone who recognizes what's golden about you? Someone who thinks you're great? Someone with a little give and take? Someone who wants to hear your story? They don't want to just sit there and talk about themselves. They want you to do some talking. They want to hear some of your experiences. They want to hear some happy memories of yours. They want to think about, hey, let's make a new happy memory both of us can share. What can we do together that would be fun and that both of us could look back at and go, that was fun. We had a good time that day. Come up with some ideas. Those are what make tomorrow better. You don't have to get stuck with Jennies and thinking about Jennies, because that just attracts more Jennies. So you've got to come up with someone else. A Lucille, a Dawn, a somebody who gets you. Someone you can groove on. Someone that makes you go, wow, you're pretty and you're smart. You're fun to be with. If it ruffles feathers, they're not the right one, are they? When you meet the one, it'll be some feathers you want to ruffle. Come on. You say no automatically. That's not dealing with anything either. But if you already recognize all these people around you that you don't want to say yes to, don't say yes. You know the rule about depression. People get depressed because they say yes when they mean no. They say, yeah, sure I'll do that. Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, sure I'll help you. But inside they're saying, no, I don't really want to do that. I really was thinking about doing something else, but even if I wasn't thinking of doing something else, I just don't want to do that. I want to have that time free just in case something else, because I have a feeling something better is going to come up, and that's not what I want to be doing when that comes up. That's part of protecting yourself. So saying no, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're automatically on no, that's just putting a door up so you don't have to cope with anything, and that's just going to keep you in a box for the moment. And if that's where you need to be, then go ahead. But maybe you should start thinking about what it is you want so that it can make itself evident, because until you're vibrating at that, you're not going to see it anywhere. It's invisible to you. You're not tuned in to the right station. You're still tuned into WCO Jenny. And if you want to see Trisha or anybody else that is a different kind of a personality, you've got to change your tuner so you can see them. Right now, you're blind to anybody who isn't what you're going, no, no, no. The more you say no, the more visible they are. So write a new story, Maui, or it'll just keep going on the same as it's been. And we know that you don't like it. We don't like to see you that way. You're not happy with it that way. No, it's not a negative. Only assholes would see it as a negative. Yeah. Kindness never goes out of style, and if someone thinks kindness is bad in some way, they are the ones that are fucked in the brain. They're so warped they don't understand what kindness is. That's not your problem. Your character is what you are, despite what other people think and say. That's who you really are. You don't become a different person every time you meet someone with a different opinion of you or the world. They just go on doing their thing. But if it changes your behavior and makes you less happy, then I don't understand why you would change your behavior for giving up happiness. I mean, it makes no sense. If you want to be a gentleman, that's your natural way of being. You mean like opening a door for women? Yeah, some younger people don't appreciate having a door open and they may not say thank you, but you do it anyway, just like I do it. I am a gentle woman. I will open a door if it's convenient and I can. Well, that's you're letting it be then. There's nothing negative or positive in opening up a door. There's nothing negative. It's not a charge. It's not a negative or a positive. It's all perception. And if you think it's a negative to open a door for someone now, then don't do it. Just walk away. Open it for yourself and ignore who's behind you rudely. Let it slam in their face. If that is the new you, you will reap what you sow. I will continue to be exactly as I am. I like opening the door for people. I always try and reach out and help people. And if someone gets snippy about it, well, actually, I've never had anybody get snippy about it. I have opened the door, held the door, and not had a thank you. But they didn't ask me to open the door or hold it for them, so I don't expect a thank you. It's just a courtesy that I felt good about performing. I hate those kind of bananas. You don't get the right spot because this is not quite ripe. It's not a perfect banana. It's an okay banana. Why? You want to remind yourself of assholes? Get it further ingrained in your brain so you got more negative in you? Think about what you're saying. What do you want to bring back into your life? More nuttiness? It wasn't funny when it happened. Was it? Because now things are negative to you. It's become negative just trying to be a gentleman. Which means you are willing to change your behavior to suit others. Which means you're not being true to you. So negative is just you not allowing the fuller part of you to come through. So who's to blame for that if you are then not living your fullest life? You putting the brakes on because of why? Again, if you want something better in your life, you have to ask for it. And you ask by vibration. You are, all of us are, the centers of our own universes, the star with the gravitational field around us. What do you want to attract into your gravitational field? More comedy hour? Or more reasons to rejoice? And more exposure to people who show you the sane part of life, the smart part of life, the creative, the saving graces, the ones that make you go, wow, man. Well, mankind should thank you for what you're doing. Something inspiring. I think about that all the time. What do I want? What do I want to do? Your first focus is your exercise. But surely there's going to be more in your day, because exercise, even a long workout, is not going to take you more than an hour of your whole day. So you've got 23 other hours, not counting sleep, to do something else besides live in the past, right? With our feelings. You're surrounded by beauty. In fact, I'm sure some of it takes an effort to get to. And if you wish you had some videos of those nutty moments, you should be taking the videos. Your camera should be constantly checking things out. Hell, if they're stupid enough, you can make money on your stupid. I've been waiting for you to tell me about that. Well, I get that. I do love my privacy in my apartment, definitely. I can appreciate that. This is my center of sanity. And right now with your cat, being sick, yeah, I would make that my priority. Well, while you're stuck in your apartment, or say while you're staying to yourself, think about what else you want to do. You don't want to repeat history, but you have to decide what to invite into your experience. That requires focus. That requires meditation. It requires sitting down and thinking about it seriously. What do you want to invite into your world? You said you want to win the lottery. Well, you got a lot of imagining to do to make sure your brain understands you can win the lottery. Because when you're asking, the way you're asking like someone who doesn't believe that they have a chance of winning. But they keep spending the money anyway. But they don't really believe in it. You've got to believe it. You can do that from your home. You never have to leave your apartment to have that one. Oh, no, we need more. Yeah. Yes. That's awesome. You're getting inspired. But now you need more than those pictures. You need to do that again. Perhaps with other birds or butterflies or local wildflowers. Anything that you can bring the beauty out of. You observe the beauty and then you show others. All right, we will see what that looks like when it dries. Yeah, Maui, it's really important to see the wonderful things you've already accomplished, to remind yourself that you're still capable of doing even more, even better, because now you've got the experience under your belt. That is the advantage of doing something again and again and again. You not just learn what to do, but you learn a million ways not to do something. And you have that over everybody who's starting, because they have to go through all the same stuff you did. But you're already done. You're through that. Did you ever look up any of the meetup groups for photography, amateur photography? There's people who go on hikes and stuff like that. They meet like once a week or once a month, and they show off their latest pictures, latest cameras, experiments in the dark room. I had a friend, the one that did all the jewels for me, the faceted stuff, and made the microscope for me with all the little samples, specimens from all over the world. He got into the old-fashioned cameras, and he started experimenting, and oh my God, he just got so into it. Engineer, all right, so he overthought it from every direction, but he was very skilled, so he would do things like rebuilt the bellows in an old camera. I was like, oh my God, amazing work. So, and he would scour eBay, you know, for days looking for little parts, and definitely an enthusiast. But what really did him the best, I think, was actually going to a couple of meetings where he met other people, because even though they were not all into, like, a lot of them were very introverted, they didn't really want to meet in a room. They exchanged online information, so they were able to email and send each other slides, and program like, here, try these slides and you do 10 deep and da-da-da. It's like he learned a lot about doing microscope photography through having met these people in the group. Yes, but you can't stay in the COVID scare forever. A lot of people are not coming back out And that is a problem. That's why we've been working here to get people more involved. Because if you keep staying scared, you're just scared and you're not living your life. You can't stay in fear. If you're that scared, then wear a mask when you go out. Keep your 6 foot, distance from people. But going to a hotel where they've got the ballroom and they've got like 10 people in a group, it's not that scary. Oh dear. Aw. Okay, let me tell Rich to feel better. He had some coffee, but it didn't seem to go well with beer. I'm on YouTube at the moment. Thanks. Yeah, that's a good thing. So, me too, Doc. Me too. It just be common sense, but don't get paranoid. The idea is to enjoy your time here. And most people now getting one of the newer strains, it's not that bad. It's not putting people in the hospital anymore. And you've been vaccinated, so the potential for hospitalization or death from COVID is very small now. So you gotta let go someplace. We just started a coffee circle downstairs to get people out of the damn apartments because COVID drove everyone to isolate. And as people do come down with COVID, even without symptoms, if they test positive, they have to self-isolate. And so people have been doing that here. But it's not healthy mentally, emotionally, psychologically. It's just not healthy to continually lock yourself away from people. It becomes an excuse not to grow. And that's definitely the opposite of what we came here to do. So you got to understand, if you're a god, then what the hell are you doing hiding? Why aren't you being more godlike, expressing yourself in this world the way you came here to do? There's lots of reasons we're here. Everyone's got different reasons. We may have a lot of things that cross on our paths. It doesn't mean we're here for the same reasons. You always start choking on the bus? What kind of bus is it? Diesel or electric? I got up for something specific and now I forgot what it was. Do you choke in the grocery store or just on the bus? If there's not enough air, that means you have too much carbon dioxide, and choking is not what happens. There's probably other things on the bus that are making you have an allergic kind of a reaction. You don't have to worry about that. It's not your job. That's not your universe. You want to flood where you are? That's the only thing that you can affect. Where you are. not other places. The other lives are not your responsibility, nor can you take them. Well, that's good. So it's probably something on the bus, maybe people wearing too much deodorant or perfume. We're gods of our own universes, not others. That's the thing you got to remember. You're not here to rule the world. There are billions of us, and there are billions of us with our own agendas. So you have to decide what your own agenda is. And the thing is, if you even joking, you say, I'm here to figure out how to cause a worldwide flood and destroy the earth, kill everybody, start over. Like, that's not up to you. And you don't feel good thinking about that because your inner being knows that's bullshit. So you can't do that. And they won't let you do that because it's not yours to do. No matter how angry you are, all you're doing is turning yourself against yourself. Instead of focusing on what you could be making for yourself, you just want to fuck up the world because it's not bending to your will. It's not doing what you want it to do. Well, you know what? Tough shit. Same for all of us. It's not our world. It's not our planet. We're sharing it. So can you affect my world? Nope. No matter how much I say, come on, bring it on, put a spell on me. It ain't gonna happen because it's my life. Okay, I think this might be dry enough here anyway. I'll give it a shot. Let's see. I have to dump this in the other room. Okay. And just in time, a breeze just came in through the window. Okay. Where? In your neighborhood? Now, we've got a lot of tornadoes and storms going on right now. Well, I don't hear any. I don't see any. We're not expecting any. But if you're concerned, I can double check. Like Get Smart. Let's see what we've got. I will check right now. Oh, that's funny. My ex-husband wrote. He sent a picture. I hope it's not of something negative in his yard. No, downloads forever. I have to replace this sucker. It's had a long and happy life. Still downloading a single picture. Now when I say ex-husband, it's not Glenn. Here we go. I don't know why he would send me that. Manhattan. And sunset. Manhattan Hinge sunrise. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's what. Oh, Glenn. Yeah. No, my first husband, Tommy. He is happily married. I assume. Exie, hi. I'm just checking the weather. And when I went to check the weather, I discovered that there was a photo from my ex-husband, my first husband. Glenn is a non-existent person, so we never have to even entertain that idea. If I heard from that asshole, believe me, I would not just calmly say, oh, I got something from my ex-husband. It would be, oh my God, what does that asshole want? Something like that. Okay, we have wind warnings, red flag warnings. Red flag warnings is basically to air and watercraft, and until 8 p.m. Click here for it, for the hazard details and duration. It's not taking me to anything, it's just windy. It's 20-mile-an-hour wind, 29-mile-an-hour gusts. Let's see. It's 14 degrees Celsius, 57 Fahrenheit. Not bad. Not bad. Just windy. It's going to go through the night. Well, at least till 8 tonight. And then it's going to go down to 31 degrees. I'm good. I just have to wait for a doctor to read my test results from today. And then I will see what level exercise I am going to be allowed to start on. I did learn today that my veins are so tiny and hard to find now because of years and years of getting IVs and injections and blood tests mostly. I had 2 blow up in this arm with an unexpected test today. And they finally were able to use ultrasound to find a vein. So they said the only way to improve my veins is to do weight lifting. Weights. I have to work out with weights again. I hate weights. I hate regulated exercise anymore. I did that for years and years. I really just like to do things that require the use of the body, like kayaking and hiking, gardening, dancing. Well, I do like stretching. That's it. I don't like weights and counting reps, and I just have found that to be nothing but annoying. And I understand, like, a lot of people like it, but I guess I don't know what they do in their real lives. I know they work hard, and they got kids too. I didn't think anybody with kids would need to do workouts with weights. A kid is a workout with, and they are a weight. So I don't get it. Anyway. So how is Exie today? Oh, Exie, you have a misspelling in your initiative account, in your profile. You use the word of instead of in or something like that. So you have to fix a word. Oh, there you go. Imagineer is in Wikipedia. Imagineering, a term for creative engineering coined by Alcoa Corporation and made famous by the Walt Disney Company. Walt Disney Imagineering, design and development arm of the Walt Disney Company, responsible for the creation of theme parks. How much does an Imagineer make a year? As much as, well, Imagineering jobs pay as much as $38,000 more than the average Disney Imagineering salary of $106,000. So let me just take a look. Imagineering. A Disney Imagineering salary is about $50 an hour. Okay. Wow. And they can make as much as $154,000 a year. But it's average about $106,000 a year, or approximately $51.30 an hour. the equivalent of $2,051 a week. But you can also get a job in Disney as cheap as $17,000 a year. Don't know what that means you're doing. But that's the smallest. Unfortunately, my state is not very active in Imagineering. It's not very active. Few companies are currently hiring. A Disney Imagineering in my area makes an average of $102,000 a year, but about 4% less than the national average. Because this state ranks number 13 out of 50 states nationwide for Disney Imagineering salaries. I would think that you're going to have to be near Disneyland to get a job. 10 cities where the typical... Wow, San Francisco is number 1, and San Jose, California is 2. Wow. There's also Barnstabletown, Massachusetts. Wait. That's the nearest thing to me is Massachusetts. Most of the Disney jobs are in California. There's one section in Seattle, Washington. There's one Jackson, Wyoming. And then Massachusetts. Those are the best. Wow. It pays. Wow, cool. Well, that's for an Imagineering job. That means you're a creative engineer. So you're the one that designs and helps with the building of the parks. So designing the park is different from working in one. But yeah, that's top shelf pay, but you gotta live in California most likely. Now, they are always creating something new. Like they did, God, what did they do just before I was getting ready to leave California? Toontown. Basically a place for Roger Rabbit to exist. So they tied all that in. Wow. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I hate that corporate bullshit. It now costs so much to go for the day, I don't think I could afford to get in. I'm really glad, even though I haven't seen the Orlando one, I have been to the original one many times. What I did not see was from Indiana Jones ride forward. They were just beginning to build that ride. So when you were on one ride, you could see some of the scaffolding for the roller coaster, and where they were going to be putting the giant ball. It's like, oh man, that's cool. But that was the best we could see. And then we moved. Far, far away from any kind of park like that. So The red flag warning is also about fires. Do not light a fire. Any fires that develop will likely spread rapidly. Outdoor burning is not recommended. Critical fire weather conditions, strong winds, low humidity, dry fuels will create a significantly elevated fire growth potential. Well, I have not heard the sirens. Let's hope it stays that way. Only sirens I heard were, going to senior housing up the road. So, let's see. Where is everybody? Charlie, are you here? I came back. But now it's 5 o'clock. So are you even awake? That's the one thing I don't like about YouTube. You can't see who's here unless you see who's here in the chat. Now, Doc, think of all the extra work the supervisor had to do to make sure nobody hit 40 hours. Assholes. Some things are just too much. Well, I think I should let this go for another day. I have to look at it from across the room a bit. And see what I think about it. Now, this border is just left like this so it can go inside a frame. It's not going to come out all the way to the edge. It is. Own countries within states. Not that I care. They take care of their people. People that work there, and they take care of them in terms of their, well, they did. They just got screwed around in Florida. But they were taking care of the people that were in the community, basically creating a bigger community, like Disney's Village. But now the state's going to have to take care of it. I love the contract that they just made. Fucking brilliant. Never mess with Disney lawyers. In California, it was not a joke. We said when people were out there selling t-shirts, items that had the Disney characters on them, and we'd say, you better not be selling something with Disney. They will find you. And it's, oh, who's going to find me here? They found them. They found people all over the place. Like, what is it? Does every image of Mickey Mouse have a psychic relay to Disney headquarters? They're selling my picture. They're selling my picture, and they haven't gotten a license. Ah, welcome back. Exactly, they're famous. They shut everybody down. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. So now when I see little crafters doing that, I warn them. Said, you may think you're immune, but let me tell you what, if they do catch you, you will find yourself paying a fine. And you're going to be out of business, and you don't want that. So do not use copyrighted or trademarked characters. It's not going to work. Eventually you get screwed. So, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here because I was just thinking about it must be resignation time. It's after 5. Missed 420 and everything. Gosh. How about you, Doc? Time for a little Maui Wowie? Okay. I guess I'll take that as a yay. I'll be right back. I have a selection to make. That was nice. I should eat it twice. I did. Gelinade to stay awake. I did make it back. I was very surprised that I made it back because something else happened. I got there expecting a simple echocardiogram. I left an hour for it, so even though taxi driver was late, I had already bullshitted them and made them come 15 minutes earlier than I really needed, so when they were 15 minutes late, I was on time. So that worked out well. I get there, and I'm getting all set up, and I'm all cheerful, you know, take this off, take that off, put this on. And then it was, okay, we're going to have to find a vein. I said, whoa, what do you mean a vein? There's no veins. No. And she said, well, it's ordered. We need to see if you have any blood clots, so we have to put this divinity or something in you. It's like, yeah, divinity? That sounds interesting. So they had to put a freaking IV in. And you know how hard it is to find my veins? After a couple of nasty misses on this arm, and an expert comes in and comments, yeah, this you see a lot with skinny people. And the first one was noticing what I did. Well, I knew about some of it, but she saw all my scars. And she said, wow, you have been through a lot. It's like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Yeah, I know I've been through a lot, but how do you know I've been through a lot? Apparently, when she was pushing on everything, looking for where she could hit up a vein, it was showing where there were scars in all of the veins. And I didn't even know that. I knew about some other stuff from that on when I had a bunch of IVs, but this was a surprise. They finally found a vein up here with ultrasound. Oh, I was not ready for that. I was, it's like if I'm ready for that, I need to know in advance that I'm getting an IV, because there's no such thing as an easy IV for me. They're always hard. They're always painful, only because they have trouble with my little skinny veins. So they use baby needles and all that. But anyway, they had an expert come up from the IV lab, and they're the people that they call when it's babies, old people like me. So I remembered when I was 4 years ago when rather than tear me up, because after a few times they realized that, oh, you've had a lot of blood drawn and we're running out of places to poke you. So that's when they started using ultrasound to listen to where there's a vein. So they found one and they did what they needed to. I think I'm fine. They did not tell me yet. They didn't tell me what the results are, but I have a feeling I will be off the med and be able to work out. But here's the lousy news. This is what I really don't like, and I've already complained about it, and I'm not going to complain it after I'm done with this, because like I keep saying, don't talk about what you don't like. I have to work out with weights. I need weight training if my veins are going to get stronger. I can't just walk. I was hoping I could just walk because I love walking. Well, now I have to walk and do weight workouts. And these are the only weights I have. 2 pounds. I have one for each hand. That's all I have. I'm not happy about that. That means I'm going to have to do something with weights. What am I going to do with weights? I hate weight training. I know I hate it because I did it. I did it because the ex. Well, I've got 1 pound. I think they're 1 pound. They don't weigh any more than these barbells, and the barbells are easier. Now, I can invest in a backpack, I guess, and put weight on my back, but that would be kind of stupid because of the lower back issue. So, yeah, so I'll be curling these until these become, I have to do too many reps that it just gets on my nerves, and I'm going to have to increase the weight. I hope not. He's an ugly old man, and he's very lumpy. No, it was the ex-husband who wanted to look like Schwarzenegger. That was his thing. No. But I have to do something, so I'll have to work it out. No pun intended. Now, I do have a silver sneakers membership, meaning as an old lady, I should be able to get into several different gyms for free. But that silver sneakers thing is just so you can do a free aerobics class, which I will not be doing. I don't think it includes any machines or weights. In any case, I cannot just go and do weights without someone to spot me. So I'll have to figure this out and fast, because I don't want to go through all that shit again. And after all that trouble today, it was just really like, oh my God, I'm planning on living more. I'm planning on living to be a lot older. If I'm living a lot older, if something else comes up, it's going to be way worse, because they're not going to be able to find my damn veins. How do they find veins? Oh, don't worry, we find them. It's like, where? Where do you find them? They're going to stick an IV in my leg? Ew. No. So I have to get stronger. I never thought this would happen to me. What about bands? Bands to what? Did you mean to write something else? There are no bands around me affecting me, so I'm not sure what you mean. I'm just waiting for the doctor to clear me. When he says that my heart's back to normal and I don't have any blood clots, that means I can go back. I can do anything I want. Unless it feels like it's making me short of breath in a bad way. Now, I did not really enjoy working out, per se. Actually, I didn't mind the feeling of working out. I did love some exercises. I didn't like the keeping track of everything. You gotta do this many reps of this, and it's like, that's what I didn't like. It's like, I don't want to have exercise notebooks. I just want to go ahead and do it. Go kayaking and then go for a hike. You know, one or the other, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. That's what actually we used to do, is hike in the morning and then kayak in the afternoon. So that was plenty of exercise as far as I was concerned. I was overall healthy. In fact, I'm still overall healthy. It's other things that are not good, but I'm generally in good shape. For my age, anyway. It's like, oh. Yeah, if I want to make it easier on myself in the far future, I have to take action for myself now. So, weight training it is. I'll have to see. I know we have in our exercise class here, we have 2-pound weights, no different than what I've already got. In fact, mine are nicer. I'll just have to figure something out to do. Shopping bags with multiple cans. I guess I can do some stuff like that. But everything I can do, it has to be done in a way that supports my back. So I cannot be just holding a weight, because I'm not supposed to have more than 15 pounds above my waist extra. So I just have to stabilize and isolate the muscles to work out. Did you mean to write something different? What's a band? Are you talking about like the rubber bands? Or is this something different? I do not keep up with things, so... Banned. I'm going, what got banned? What would a ban have on exercise? All right. Right. Yeah, I don't think I have any left of those. I used to have some from physical therapy. That gives you the same, yeah, I guess it would, wouldn't it? What was I using them for? I didn't have a lot of exercises that used a band. I'll look into that. I know some stuff I can't use. We were doing one with a rubber band to hold the knees together, and then you push the knees apart. But it caused so much pain in the hip that we had to like give that one up. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll check into it. Our new manager and our assistant manager love working out with weights. So I'm sure that they can let me know if there's anything local. I would not mind going out where there is someone to basically spot me for doing anything. Thing is, a few exercises I used to really love in the gym, I can't do anymore. So one thing I would really love to do again, though, is hang upside down by the knees, under the knees, you know, like if you were hanging from a tree. I really would like to be able to do that. I really love that traction. Oh, that's awesome. Get into it, man. Make a memory and blazon it in your brain. I wish it would rain here. I don't think we're going to get it. Gosh, it's Good Friday, and I don't celebrate Good Friday. And I don't know what that means to you guys. So what does Good Friday mean to you? I'll be here on Easter. I'll be here before Easter. I will be here after Easter. If you smell the rain, can you smell a rainbow? It's a lovely day in your neighborhood. sniffing the rain like a native should. It's a lovely Friday here. It's cool, it's windy, it's overcast. I mean, I'm not Wednesday Addams, but I can appreciate it. Now, I should be thinking about dinner, as in, what the hell am I going to have? But I don't know. Maybe I'll just have a can of soup. I'll have one less can I can exercise with. But, you know, it's a good day for soup. And I've hit a creative wall. I got some of this gold down. I'm not done with the gold, but hey, come on. I don't know. The light is not good now. I have this little lamp. Oh look, it's like the sun. That's an idea. I'll throw the light from the sun corner and see where it lands. Where I need to add gilding. Let's see. I got that right. That's interpretive. Okay. Off. Thank you. So touchy. I shouldn't what? What should I do for dinner? I did. That didn't make it easier to think, though. Oddly enough. I half resonated. I would have to do it again. And I'll look at menus. But see, I can't have anything really salty, or I will pay for that a different way. So, God, it's hard to get healthy takeout food. I had a healthy dinner. But if I make another healthy dinner, it'll be identical pretty much to last night's. So I guess I am going to do soup. I have organic pea soup. I have a non-organic pea soup with ham. I think that's it. Maybe I should go ahead and check out Gelinate again. Perhaps another inspection. Yes, I shall return. Who is here? I'm just sitting here like spacing salt or sugar for dinner. Ugh. I like both together. I like sweet and savory. I like a little spice, a little heat. Oh. I like my paintings to hang properly. Well, well, well. Return? Never mind me. Oh, you mean I should go and have dinner and not come back until tomorrow? Is that what you're saying? There is a restaurant, but it's too far away to order from. They have amazing Indian food. That I would order. But what I'm actually kind of in the mood for is soup. I think soup is good. I don't know, whatever. I don't know. You must be getting cranky. It's time for bed. No, it is time. It's time for me to eat dinner. It has been a long, annoying day, aside from the time I spent with you guys, which was fun. We will take another look at this tomorrow when I have some more light, not from this lamp. And we will work on some other pieces like this that we've started. And this is the dip pen in the white ink. I found it was having a little problem flowing, so I'll try it again and see if I can get some spirals out of it. The white is especially thick. I mean, you just take a look, it's just sitting there like a big pile of white stuff. It's probably titanium. It doesn't say, but it's fabriqué en France. You're so lucky. I was not fabriqué en France. No, I was fabriqué en New York. What can I say? I still have the scars where they sewed me together. Yeah. They put an Abbey normal brain in. Okay, I think I'm getting delirious. I probably need food. The food I started off with was just not adequate. It was delicious, but not enough. I must feed the brain so I can return to my art tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you for talking more about anime that I may like. There you go. Sweet dreams, sweet peas. I'll see you in the morning.